Good afternoon and welcome to Backyard Cigars. I'm here today with what I consider to be a special cigar. It's been in my humidor for a few months and it's been sitting there 66, 67 RH. And today, on a 90-degree day, with a breeze that's just cooling everything down and making me even more comfortable than I thought I could be, I decided that this would be a good cigar to smoke today. Now, Manuel Quesada is best known to us from Fonseca, Cubita, Sosa, a couple of other lines that he blends and manufactures. This particular cigar, Manuel Quesada's 70th anniversary Belicoso, is to commemorate his 70th birthday. Now, with over 40 years in the cigar industry, in the tobacco industry, he's done many things. And this cigar was crafted to give us a little bit of a peek into his palate. Some more insight into what he prefers in a cigar. Now, the specs on this cigar are Dominicans. This is a Dominican wrapper, Cuban seed, a Dominican binder, Sumatra seed, and then we have fillers from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. 6x52 Belicoso. This cigar is built at full body, full strength. Starting off, I really got a medium body, medium strength cigar. I had issues with the draw, just a tad bit tight. Loosened up a bit, and then it produced a better smoke output. Initially, the flavors that I got were of a bitter chocolate with some cedar and a bit of woodiness to it. Transitioned, and that chocolate sort of faded all away into just chocolatey hints, sweet chocolatey hints, along with a cedar backbone and a woody and earthy tobacco flavor. The aroma has been sort of the same. It's just been a mild aroma, earthy tobacco, not an overly aromatic cigar, but nonetheless very complex, and I love the transitions. One thing I can say is that I haven't had a problem with the burn line at all. I haven't had to touch it up. I haven't had to even think about it in terms of the construction has been awesome. And the smoke output has picked up. And just as I said that, the ash just dropped. It hasn't held the ash very well. It's got a mind of its own. You never know when this ash is going to drop. It just does. And you just have to kind of be ready for it. Whether it's on your lap, in the ashtray, or on the floor, wherever you're at. Just let it be. So initially, it was more of a medium-bodied cigar. In the second third and in the final third, it has really picked up in strength. It's got the nicotine kick, but it is well refined. This was blended by Manuel Quesada himself. He wants us to know what kind of cigar he likes to smoke, and this is it. Now, he's mentioned in past interviews about how in the 80s and the 90s the mild cigar was the thing. I've mentioned this before in reviews, how milder cigars are what smokers' palates were accustomed to back in the day and even into the 80s and 90s. He blames Cigar Aficionado for promoting the bolder blends of cigars. But in reality, things just don't stay the same forever. And what we once liked, we no longer like, and we move on, or we just incorporate new things into our lives. So I'm a good example. I love mild cigars, but I also love my Maduros just as much, if not more sometimes. I tend to think that's just the natural evolution of things. Whether it's we as people, as citizens, or whether it's what we like in terms of the way we dress, our fashion sense, everything seems to change somewhat, and we adjust. Manuel Quesada certainly adjusted, and he is showing that with this cigar. Now, here's a man who origins in Cuba, like many of the famous cigar legends, and Manuel Quesada is not to be left behind in the subject and in the topic of cigar legends. This is a man who has accomplished many things in the tobacco industry. He cut his teeth in the free zone. Very brief description of the free zone. The free zone was set up in the Dominican Republic in the late 60s and in the early 70s to stimulate business growth. Pretty much tax exempt and promoting business as a whole globally and to encourage some growth in the economy. Well, it did just that. The free zone began with one small section, and then it developed, and now we have 74 sections of the free zone. So it's definitely taken off. Well, Manuel Quesada was right there at almost at the very beginning in 1974, and he took off with it. And he went through some rough times and some rough patches throughout the years. It wasn't all pretty. There were times he thought about, what am I going to do for money? What am I going to do to grow my business? But he waited it out. He fought it through, and here he is, celebrating 3 years ago his 70th birthday. And it just so happens that August of 2020 is the anniversary of the free zone in the Dominican Republic. Now, he sets up shop in Santiago of the Dominican Republic. Santiago is very well known in the Dominican Republic for its cigars. I think you have La Aurora that's there, the oldest, and it's well known. People know that Santiago is a cigar area. You go there, you're going to find some good stuff. Very earthy at this point. You get a little bit more of that toasted wood. While full-bodied, it's certainly not blowing me away with its strength. It's refined, as I said before. He really put some effort into this, because with all of the transitions and just the flavor profile overall, it's a very enjoyable cigar. It is a full-bodied cigar, so goes without saying, you should have something in your stomach. You should prepare for it. I wouldn't call it the strongest of cigars, but it's strong, and it's the way it's intended to be. Strong, full-bodied cigar, full of flavor and transitions. If you're up for that, then you're up for this cigar. I like it. I like it a lot, and I can say that construction wise, flavor wise, it is checking all of the boxes. It does have a bit of a dry finish to it, so I'm keeping the water handy, and I'm having to take generous sips of water in order to keep myself hydrated and just keep my throat in good condition as I'm smoking this cigar. Again, this was in the humidor at 66, 67 RH. It felt very firm when I took it out of the humidor, but I can tell you now it's not a piece of stone in my hand. It's slightly spongy. At this point, the heat has gotten to it, so it's a little softer, but it's burning very well. I'd say this so far has been about an hour into, it's going to be about an hour by the time I finish it. It's a good amount of time. I think it's been burning pretty fast. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that I kept it at 66, 67 RH. I think it's just the cigar. It burns a little faster, and that is what you have. So while it's not an aromatic cigar, it certainly makes up for it in flavor. And I have to add, Manuel Quesada is a legend in the cigar tobacco industry. He goes way back. So when he blended this cigar, he went for the best of his tobacco to blend. He went for the primo stuff. And I think he did a good job. So hats off to Manuel Quesada. And I highly recommend this cigar. It's been very good. If you try it and you have had a different experience, or if you have a different experience when you try it, please leave a note in the comments section and let me know how it went for you. Smoke output has been a little bit better in the final third, so I have to say that has been a welcome surprise for me, as the smoke output was not as intense in the beginning of the cigar. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this review, watching this review. Thank you for any comments you may leave behind. And I just want to say again, thank you to everyone watching. I may have done a video where I said I don't really care if I don't reach 1 million people, but the truth is that I want people to know how much I love cigars, and I want people to take whatever they can from my videos, and if you leave something behind, that's fine, but please let me know what you think. I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you very much. Enjoy your afternoon. Hats off, Manuel.